That's hilarious. So the reason I'm laughing when we came back from the take is that I'm sitting here cutting the story and I didn't even know that we wasn't recording. Happy Thursday. So, as I said, rewind. We just got done talking about Kawhi Leonard and how he's pulled out of the Olympics with soreness on his knee. The committee felt like he should shut it down. He also agreed with them. But if he never plays again, is he top five at small forward? I gave you the criteria in this decade, not of all time, just this decade. Decade running 10 years from 2014 to 2024. And like I said, I gave you the criteria. You let me know what's good in the chat. Also, we talked about Klay Thompson, and we had it right that he was super motivated to be in Dallas, and we didn't know how bad the Golden State Warriors situation had deteriorated until he claims that they didn't even send him a contract back during negotiations. So, like I said, we covered that, and we're going to stay in the association with something weird that it just didn't make any sense to me. Now, I like to classify these stories as two periods. BV, before Vern, and then there's AV, after Vern. This is clearly a BV. So I had to kind of brush up on this and do some homework. But the NBA resumes its investigation into Kevin Porter Jr.'s domestic violence, the DV, case after the Clippers signed the ex-Rocket guard. Now, this is out of CBS Sports and James Herbert. So like I said, we're going to go ahead and put it out there. So some stories are before me. And Herbert does his best in the piece to fill in the blanks of this story. But it's still sketchy at best. And let me set it up for you. So Kevin Porter Jr. was signed to the Clippers as the NBA started to reopen an investigation into his alleged DV case. I don't understand. Why was this on pause in the first place? Why was this on pause in the first place? If this is all about justice and getting down to the bottom line, then why was this thing even put on pause? So going back to when he was with the Rockets, he was arrested for the DV. Now, they have on here strangulation and assault. His girlfriend at the time, Chris Gunzurich, told the cops he punched her in the face repeatedly and choked her. And that's in the report. That's awful. I mean, that is barbaric. To beat a woman like that, to strangle a woman, and yeah, no, that's hideous. Nobody should be doing that, let alone a man to a woman. But the NBA pulled a cover-up move when the Rockets traded him to OKC, and then they waived him, and the investigation just got put on pause. Okay, but I mean, this man, like I said, you have strangulation. You have a woman who is sitting here saying that he punched her in the face repeatedly. The state of Texas is going to go ahead and pick that up. They're not going to let this dude. So what? This is the police. This is the law. Just because you got traded to another team and they let you go, that doesn't mean that the state stopped investigating it. But why did the NBA stop investigating it? Because obviously him being traded was one of the reasons why. Now that's even more mysterious. In October, Gunzurich told the New York Post that Porter Jr. never balled up his fist and hit her. What? So she's saying that he never hit her. She's saying that he never hit her with a closed fist. But you told the cops that you were beaten multiple times in the face and the strangulation was applied. What are we talking about? Look, we'll get more into this when we come back from a quick 20. From a rap album that we're pumping for the month. This is Big Vern. Drop the spot. Yes, Chris Webby, The Lost Wednesdays, the demos in stores now. I like Sky High with Xander Good, Coke 45, and Survivor. Many good tracks on here. Like I say, get it where you legally cop music. Out now in stores, whether it's Apple Music, Google Play, or Spotify. Chris Webby, Lost Wednesdays, the demos. So when we jump back into this piece, the lady who was filing the police report is now telling the New York Post that he never hit her with a closed fist in the face. And he definitely didn't hit her repeatedly in the face. What the hell is going on? If he didn't do any of this, then why tell the cops he did? Obviously, if I'm one of the police officers and I'm showing up on the scene and a woman is sitting there, her face is all bloody and she's all turning colors and, gasping for life. Okay, man, look, you're going down. But she's saying that this didn't happen. So do they have any photos, any arrest photos? Like I said, this is all before me, so I'm just trying to put the pieces together. Even more bizarre, he pled guilty to a misdemeanor assault and harassment violation. What? Why would you plead guilty if you didn't do this? We have a victim saying that she was never choked. She was never punched in the face repeatedly. But she told the officers on the scene that she was punched repeatedly and they have strangulation in there. And if she's saying this didn't happen and you saying that you may have been innocent, then why would you even plead guilty to something that you didn't do? Again, no criminal court in this country is going to drop a felony down to a misdemeanor if the case is airtight. But why, again, would you cop to a crime you didn't commit? That whoever is this dude's attorney is the worst attorney in history. The plea deal stipulated that he could withdraw his guilty plea and effectively clear his criminal record in 1 year, provided that he complies with a court-ordered treatment program, doesn't get arrested again, attends all court dates, and doesn't violate the order of protection against him in said year. Okay, so now he's got an EPO. If you didn't do it, then why would you need to be away from this person? If I don't talk to this person and they got an EPO out on me, trust me, it's not going to be hard for me to avoid this person. I don't talk to them anyway. This doesn't make any sense. The alleged victim said she wasn't hit in the face with a closed fist over and over. He pled guilty to a crime that he didn't commit to get it removed off of his record. Out of nowhere, the NBA reopens an investigation. Does this smell fishy to anybody but me? It's one of those, oh goodness, he's back, so we need to reopen the files. But the NBA has been sitting on this case for a while. That's why it's equally strange when Adam Silver says, and I quote, "We're still in the process of gathering the information about the incident." Every case, though, also depends on its unique set of facts. I think here, when we're not in season, there's a little bit more of an opportunity to absorb what's happening before we act. I think if it were a case where we were in the middle of a season, we might be compelled to do something faster. End quote. What? How do you need more time to gather information that's readily available? You have the victim saying that she was never hit with a closed fist in the face over and over and over again. I don't know about the strangulation because she hasn't actually said that didn't happen. And then you got a player who is copped to actually doing this to get his record expunged and get everything off. What the hell is going on? Either you did do it or you didn't do it. And when the victim is telling the newspapers something completely different than she told the cops, she's probably breaking the law, filing a false report. That's why it is very risky and a slippery slope when sports leagues get involved in like I said, public skirmishes between men and women. It is best to let the criminal it is best just to let the criminal justice system play itself out rather than you try to win the the court of public opinion, because now nobody knows what to believe. And the NBA isn't going to go public with their findings. They're going to do it just enough to go ahead and say, hey, look, we tried. I just don't understand any of this. That's just ridiculous. And this is one of those cases where you start and end with more questions than answers. Because again, I read the piece and I'm sitting here trying to figure it out in my mind. And James Herbert from CBS Sports, he did his best to kind of fill in the gaps, but everything is still up in the air. What really happened between these two? I don't know. I don't know. My head is starting to hurt. Look, we'll be back. We just cooking.